guys, it's Adrian over BHA. Alright, so you saw my video last week. You've got InfluxDB installed. You're pulling in that data from Home Assistant. So let's go ahead and get Grafana installed and start creating some cool graphs using all that data. So let's get started. As always, I like to start my videos off by running updates on my machine. So if you've already done that, you can go ahead and fast forward through that. Otherwise, I'll kind of speed this along just so you're not waiting around for it to finish. Alright, so now that the updates are done, let's go ahead and we are going to edit our sources.list file. Let's edit our sources.list file, which can be found in etc/apt/sources.list. We'll just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we will copy in this new line for our source for Grafana. And I'll put this in the description so you can just copy and paste it in there. You don't have to type it all out. Alright, so once we get that in there, we're going to just go ahead and save this. So we'll do a curl https packagecloud.io/gpg.key, and we're going to pipe that into a sudo apt-get add. Again, I'll have all this in the description. Now we can do our update just to pull in the information from the new source. Alright, so let's go ahead and install Grafana. So we'll do a sudo apt-get install Grafana. Alright, now that Grafana has been installed, let's do a daemon-reload. So we'll do a sudo systemctl daemon-reload. And then let's go ahead and start Grafana. So we'll do a sudo systemctl start grafana-server. And just to make sure everything's working okay, we'll go do a status on that as well. And as you can see, active, running, everything looks good. So Grafana should be officially installed on our machine. Just to give you an idea of what I am trying to work with here as far as data from Home Assistant, I added all the dark sky weather sensors in there, so we have some data to work with for creating these graphs. So let's go ahead and log in to our new Grafana server. So by default, the username and password are both admin. You can change it. This is all local on my test box here, so I'm not worried about security. We've got Grafana installed. Now we want to add a data source. So here we'll just give it a name. I'm going to call it has. Change our type to be InfluxDB because that's the type of database we'll be using. And then the URL is going to be the URL for our InfluxDB database. So since it's local on the same machine, we'll kind of go with their default, which is localhost port 8086. We didn't do anything special on our InfluxDB, so the access will just be proxy. And we here under InfluxDB details, we just have to give it a database name, which is the one we created originally, which will be home_assistant. And then whatever username and password we created for our Influx database. Hit add. Then we can also go ahead and do a save and test, which should confirm whether or not it was able to connect to it or not. Data source is working. That's what you want to see. So we are done with adding our source into Grafana. At this point, we are now ready to create a dashboard and put some graphs on it. Create your first dashboard. And here we're going to, where it says panel title, we'll right click and say edit. So for starters, let's go ahead and give it a name. This one we're going to do wind speed. So our title, we'll just call it wind speed. Then on the metrics tab, let's make some changes here. So our data source, you can leave it as default if you only have the one data source. I'm just showing you that you can switch it to has. So as you can see here, I changed it to my InfluxDB specifically. So since we're doing wind speed, it's measured in miles per hour, so that's how it pulls it in from InfluxDB. We're just going to add a where. We'll say the entity ID is equal to, and it should, there it is, dark sky wind speed. All right. So where it says select, it says field value is mean. Let's remove that mean. And we are going to add a selector, and we'll set it to last. So basically that's the last value that it pulled in. So for the group by, where it says fill, instead of null, we're going to change that to none. Hey, look, we have data. Now this should be over like a 6-hour period. Give it a alias name. You don't have to. It just this is what will show up in the legend. So we'll say speed. I'll just put MPH in parentheses. And that is basically it. Now a lot of this other stuff, you can go around and tweak it and change the way it looks a little bit. I mean, it's just kind of A lot of it you just learn by trial and error, trying out different things, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like. But for the sake of actually building out a graph, that is essentially it for at least this graph. This is a wind speed graph. It shows the wind speed over the last 6 hours. We can basically, I just kind of went through all these tabs just to show you what some of the other options are. Close that out. So that is our wind speed graph. Now if you click over here where it says speed, you can actually change the color. So you don't like that ugly green color, we can change it to red or blue or whatever. Yeah, there's red, there's blue. I think I like blue. Let's go ahead and do another graph. We're going to right click on panel title again, hit edit. And this time let's do outside temperature. Let's see, go ahead and set the data source to has. In the from, let's go ahead and choose, let's see, it's going to be degrees, so we'll do Fahrenheit. Where entity ID is equal to, and let's see, we're going to choose dark sky temperature, which should be our current temperature. So again, we're going to remove that mean in the select field and choose selector. We'll go ahead and set that to last again because it'll be the last value that it pulled in. Group by, we're going to change that fill from null to none. And basically there it is. You can already see that data pulling in. That is our outside temperature over the last 6 hours. We'll just give this an alias of temp. You can name it whatever you want. Like I said, this is what will show up in the legend. And that's really all you have to do. Like I said, I kind of went through all the tabs on the previous one, so I'm not going to do that again. But as you can see, now we have 2 different graphs for data that we've pulled in from Home Assistant. And that's really all you have to do. A lot of the Grafana stuff is just kind of a trial and error type deal. You try different things, see what you like, see what you don't like, and play around with it. Here we're going to go ahead and save this dashboard. We'll just call it weather. Hit save. Now we can go back over there to our home page, just to the home part of the dashboard, just so you can see where it'll actually show up. Yep, there it is. Star dashboards. That's our the only one we have set up right now. So that is it for our little Grafana tutorial. I hope you liked the video. I hope it helped. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Check out all the other videos I got. If you run across something that you don't see that you'd like to see, again, hit me up in the comments, shoot me a message, let me know, and I will try to get something put together. I've already had a couple of requests coming in, so I am currently working on those. See if I can't get some stuff put together for you guys. See you guys around. Thanks.